Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. I would like to give a special welcome to the European School of Varese, teachers and students which are attending this webinar. Also thanking them for the interest demonstrated on this topic, on the topic of today's webinar. I'm Cristina Cardoso, and I'm a scientific officer at the Joint Research Center in Ispra, Northern Italy. I would like again to welcome you all to this Portuguese semester webinar, which is included in the semester celebrations of the World Water Day. And today we are specifically addressing water issues in the context of Sustainable Development Goal 12, ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. In this context, the Portuguese community here at the GRC has contacted the United Nations General Secretary, António Guterres, and received from him the message you can now see on the screen. His letter starts with pointing to the theme of this year's World Water Day, which is valuing water. And this leads one to questioning, what does water mean to me? And inviting us all to think about water and to value it. He also shared with us what water means to him. And he says, for me, water means protection, a well-managed water cycle encompassing drinking water, sanitation, hygiene, wastewater, transboundary governance, the environment, and more. Means a defense against health problems and the lack of dignity, and a response to challenges from changing climate and increasing global demand. Please keep these words in mind while I share with you some relevant facts about water. Water is a limited resource. Less than 3% of the world's water is fresh, drinkable water, of which 2.5% is frozen in the Antarctica, Arctic, and glaciers. Humanity must therefore rely on about 0.5% of all these for our own needs. Humankind is polluting water in rivers and lakes faster than nature can recycle and purify it. Agriculture, including irrigation, livestock, and aquaculture, is by far the largest water consumer, accounting for 69% of annual water withdrawals globally. Industry, including power generation, accounts for about 19%, and households for about 12%. Today we'll be watching Aquastory, a short animation film about the efficient use of water. Aquastory won the Protect Our Planet category of the United Nations Film Festival about Sustainable Development Goals and many other awards. We will have the pleasure to watch it in the company of Marina, Lobo, and Maria Rodrigues. Marina is the director of Aquastory. She has actually developed, directed, and was involved in the production of Aquastory. She has a degree in environmental engineering and a master in 3D animation. She has extensive work experience in the development of children's and youth animation series, broadcast on the main Portuguese TV channels and on foreign TV channels. Today, she's back to her origins, meaning she's combining two passions, animation and environment, and she's determined to promote environmental awareness and education through animation, using scientific knowledge and creativity to produce powerful and original films and videos. And she's, since 2017, running her own digital animation company, Toca, idealizing and producing 2D and 3D animations. Maria Rodrigues represents the producer of the film here on the behalf of Lisboa Inova. And she has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and a master's degree in engineering policy and management of technology, and a PhD degree in engineering and industrial management. She has a diversified career in sustainable energy, having been employee of Portuguese National Innovation Agency, employee of Irradiar, de Viris, and Wind Energy private companies, founding partner and manager of We Solutions and Green Egg, and president of the Portuguese Solar Industry Association, and in-house consultant of the Portuguese Energy Agency. Presently, she is technical and financial director of Lisbon's Energy and Environmental Agency, and research fellow and member of the Scientific Council of Center for Innovation, Technology and Policy Research at the Instituto Técnico of Lisbon. Before we watch the film, I am very pleased to give the floor to Marina and Maria and asking them to please briefly introduce your film to our audience.
Thank you so much, Cristina. Thank you so much for the invitation. I think Marina agrees with me. This is really an honor to be here today with you and to watch with you again and talk a little bit about Aquastory. So this project, so the Lisboa Inova is the Lisbon Energy and Environmental Agency. So it's a private non-profit association, and it works towards the sustainability of the city in a broad way. So we were focused mainly on the first years in energy, but we enlarged our action to water and materials, and we have an area of education that we have been education for sustainability. And so we try to develop a lot of projects in these stances. And Aquastory was actually an idea brought inside the house. So in the first instance, so we had the opportunity of a funding framework from the Portuguese government, the Environmental Fund, and there was the opportunity to develop an educational project under the theme of sustainable use of water. And we kind of made a technical script of what we would like to see in such a program, and we decided that should be a film. And we had already some contacts with Marina, and we were challenging her to pick up on our technical briefing, very hard technical briefing of what should be a film around this. And Marina just transformed it into this artwork, very incredible artwork. And we are very proud of the prize we won. But Marina, I mean, we were the promoters, but Marina is actually who made it a real big success. I don't know, Marina, if you want to say something.
Thank you very much. I think the movie speaks better than whatever I can say about it. My work was exactly that, to try to transform a very technical message into a message that anyone could understand easily, and try to do what Lisboa Inova wanted to do from the beginning, that was to provide awareness about how people could use water more efficiently. So I guess that's it.
Thank you, Marina and Maria. So we will now watch this very nice movie. It's good now. I would like to share with you the feedback we received from Portuguese children at the GRC, or children of Portuguese at the GRC. We asked those children, ages varying between 4 and 16, to watch the movie and share their questions with us. I must say the feedback of all of them was very positive. They all enjoyed to see the movie, and I would like to pose you some questions which we received from the children. And to start with, I would like to start with the question of Isabel. Isabel is 11 years old, and she asks, why making a film about water? I think this is a question for both of you, actually.
I think I can answer that because it's easy. Sorry, Maria. Because everyone watches films, and especially children like very much to watch animation, and everybody enjoys to watch animation. So why not use that platform to spread important messages that maybe we hear about it on the news or at school or somewhere else, but we sometimes don't pay as much attention as we can pay it if we are seeing something that it's made to entertain us. So it's another way to use entertainment with an educational purpose. So we can kind of mix the concepts of what is entertaining and learning, and maybe try to educate more this way. So and about the need to speak about the efficient use of water, maybe Maria would like to add something here.
I think you tackled it pretty much in what it is about, but of course that even the message from the Antonio Guterres says it all. I mean, it's a scarce resource. We make use of it, we have it in our taps. We don't think about this and make use of it without many concerns because it is there always. And so when we see things like happening in South Africa with rationing of water because there was not water available to everybody in a developed or developed African city, we get some awareness, but when it's not in your yard, you don't think so much about it. So it's important for people to understand that these are scarce resources, and no better way of doing it, as Marina said, in a very entertaining way that can be more prevailing over time.
Yeah. Thank you for these answers. I think Isabel is probably satisfied with them. And Isabel, if you are in the audience, you can come back with further questions. And I would like, in the meantime, to pose the question from our younger interviewer, which is Rafa, 5 years old. And he is asking if water is a living thing or a non-living thing. Find it a very nice question. Marina or Maria, would you please consider?
This one is harder. Do you want to start, Maria? Sorry.
It's not a living organism as we know it, but it's a good idea to compare it with a living thing. I mean, very nice ideas come from very young people, I would say, that give us more creative directions to approach. Of course, it's not a living organism, but it's a very nice comparison, I would say. I don't know, Marina, if you want to.
Yeah, if we think about water as a living organism, maybe it will be easier for us to take care of it, to take care of it, to not pollute it, not pollute the water, to not I don't know, waste, to not waste water. If we think about it as a living thing, I don't know, maybe
I understand your idea, Marina, sorry. Probably dealing with emotions, if water is life, then people feel more conscious about wasting it.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
It could be a principle.
Mainly the children, for example, if they don't have the same notion of things as we do, so
yes,
it can be a good idea.
Then we have Margarita and Laura that had similar thoughts about the characters you choose for the movie. And in particular, Margarita, she's asking, why did you choose the figures you choose and not images of normal people? While Laura, which is 6 years old, says the baby was too big. I must say that I found it really nice observation. Okay. I don't know, Marina, if you have an answer.
I guess I wanted to make it like more something that was fictional, not very realistic, for two reasons. One, because I think we have already seen a lot of movies about water that speaks about the family and the family's house with characters that no longer bring the surprise factor to catch the attention of the viewer. So I tried to make something different to first catch the attention, make them curious about what they are seeing, so they keep seeing it until the end. So I guess it was that the strategy, and to work with the imagination, because everything that happens there, it's not actually true. It's like a fictional environment.
Yes.
Water doesn't appear in our houses exactly like that, but it's like a metaphor to our reality. So that's why I chose those characters.
Thank you, Marina. I don't know, I cannot see the question and answer application. I don't know if there are questions from the audience. I ask support from Rita Luisa.
Yes, we have some questions from the audience. We have Sandra that is asking, how did you come to the development of the character? Is again about the characters.
Yes, it's again what I said. I tried to not to make a human character, to try to catch the attention of the viewer with something different. And then I start to make drawings of several types of characters. So this was probably the 100th try, and suddenly I liked it. Lisboa Nova liked it also, and we kept going from there. So before this final drawing, I had to make a lot of previous drawings, but always trying to not to represent the human figure as a person with clothes and with the faces like we have. Also to direct the movie for younger children and to everyone.
Okay, thank you. We had also a question from Clara that is 5 years old on the same line about the idea of the drawing. So I suppose you can continue, Cristina.
I could not understand completely the question. It was similar to a previous one, Luisa. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So actually, I have a question to you that relates more to the award, to the competition that the film was subjected to. So did it come as a surprise to win this this award? Was it a hard competition at this festival of the United Nations?
I guess it came as a surprise for us and for Lisboa Nova. Maybe you want to answer now, Maria. For me, it was a total surprise. I was really not expecting it at all.
Yeah,
so
totally. I mean, we had as an obligation also within the project that was funded to have a communication plan, and from the very beginning, we thought to submit it to several festivals and several possible places where the film could be awarded. But to be honest, we never thought we would gain this dimension, and it started with the United Nations, and it was really an honor, and we were totally excited about it and not expecting it at all. Yeah.
There was one last comment from one of the children, actually a teenager, about the movie, and he is saying, but I think it's a question, did the whole of Portugal has seen the animation, and he was very happy if that was the fact. But he's saying, why not to ask a blogger to disseminate it? So there seems to be mixed opinion. He's assuming everybody saw it, and that would have been very good. But then he's asking, how was the film disseminated? What was the reach of the outreach received by this film?
I don't know if you want to start.
From what I know that not entire Portugal saw the movie, but a lot of people did see it. Actually, it was present on the how do you say, the school, the TV school, in RTP, when everybody quarantined the first time, then they put it on one of the classes from science, I think. They aired it on the TV with a professor, saw the movie and showed the movie to the children while explaining everything about the water. And from that, also before that, I think some schools also contacted us asking if they could show the film at their classes. So it's also being present at schools in Portugal and also in Brazil. We also received a lot of people questioning if they could show the movie at schools in Brazil. Also the festivals. So I guess the movie was seen in a lot of places, not only in Portugal, also across the world. But it's a good idea to ask it to a blogger to spread it. Maria, I don't know if you want to add something.
Yeah, just not only the school platform that was created for the pandemic time, but also children's program also in the public channel that was Zigzag also was there. I think Marina was there too. We had a lot of requests from publishers, book publishers that are related to school manuals, and we had also the one of the main independent newspaper from Portugal, Público, did a very fantastic dissemination campaign. So it was one of the top 20 scene movies or videos shared by Público in its social networks. We had more than 50,000 shares of the movie. So we believe that even if not everybody, but a lot of people saw the movie, and it was used in so many different publics and so many different contexts. We also had some activities. For instance, one library from a municipality around Lisbon asked us to go there and to show while showing the movie to interact with the kids afterwards. And it was amazing because we had like these boards where we asked the kids when they entered, before they saw the movie, to write something about the water. What did they think about it? And then when they came out of seeing the movie, we asked again, and so to see the change in perception. And it was great to see how they evolved just in 7 minutes. So yeah, we had, but of course we always want to continue this dissemination, and every means to do it. Bloggers are really great for that, but we also had some ideas around that, to be honest, to other educational activities, but we didn't get funding yet to do that. As you know, it's not so easy to put things through bloggers. You have to have a budget for that usually. So, but yeah, continuing disseminating.
we really need to congratulate you for really the very great movie, but also for all your efforts to disseminate it. And as you, Maria, say, see children, which are the foundations of our future society, changing behavior at a click, a mouse click. So I think this leads into our next phase of the seminar, which is a question and answer panel. And the topic is actually transforming behaviors towards sustainable, responsible consumption. And the question I had to you, you actually responded already in relation to Nicolao's comment and question. And so I will start now introducing also Eugenio and Celia. But before, I want to say that also recalling your movie, that science and technology innovations are necessary, and there are several hints to this in your movie, but not sufficient, as we can understand from reflections from the discussion, for a sustainable consumption. And it is clear that urgently that change is required. And it involves the action from everyone, from the producers to the consumers, final consumers, so means us all. And the question is how to do it in an efficient way, changing also changing also household behaviors. So we have invited here to this discussion Eugenio Gervasini and Celia Lopez-Canizares, because they actually work in a different field, in the field of biodiversity, and their work focus on alien species in the context of the European Alien Species Information Network, ESIN. Eugenio Gervasini is graduated in agriculture sciences and specialized in integrated pest management and biological control. And he coordinates applied research concerning harmful organisms and their biological control or he has coordinated in glass houses, nurseries, forests, and in the urban and natural environment, as well as surveys for quarantine pests. Eugenio is currently a member of the ESIN team, and he's particularly involved in citizen science activities and communication. And Celia is a biologist working in citizen science, social media and communication at the European Alien Species Information Network, ESIN. And her areas of interest are terrestrial ecology, science promotion, and environmental education. We invite them here because of their involvement with citizen science and communication and citizen engagement. So I would start with Eugenio. And Eugenio, I know well that ESIN aims to increase literacy, awareness, and engagement on alien species, but what are the most important lessons that you learned from that activity that could also be transposed in the field of water and engagement of consumers in changing behaviors?
Good afternoon, everybody. So thank you, Marina and Cristina. Yes, to give a bit of context, yes, we work on invasive alien species, so organisms not native to our environment, which have been introduced by human activities. So this is the main concept that people most of the time are unaware that they have a direct and active role in introducing, spreading, and helping these kind of species, which impact very much on the capacity of the environment around us to provide what are called ecosystem services and affect the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals you mentioned at the beginning of this meeting. Of course, we have learned that we need to be able to listen to people expectation, their feeling and emotions, because they might have a different approach towards species which look pretty, which are quite nice, and so we need not, first of all, to be able to educate, to inform, respecting their culture, because people, our public is quite broad, is the whole European community, and therefore we need to trigger the right actions to make them feel engaged and take action towards a transformative change. To this end, at Gervasini, we have done quite a lot, trying to serve as many languages as we can with different activities, and Celia can talk about this under citizen science and structured communication. So yes, we need to to listen to people's voice and to give them the right answers as well.
Thanks, Eugenio. I would like to direct now a question to all of you, which is on your what are, in your view, the most effective methods for a behavioral change, according to your experiences?
Yes, thank you. So thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation to join today. So actually, this keyword behavioral change is one of our main goals within the IASIN citizen science strategy. So to this aim, we need to work from different sides. On communication, on education, engagement, and collaboration among different people, stakeholders, and institutions towards this behavioral change. In this particular case, when we talk about behavioral change, it's about a more responsible enjoyment of water, even in the urban environment, as in different scenarios of our daily lives, as they were showing in the movie, but also in natural ecosystem, in freshwater ecosystems. So what we can do for a behavioral change, I think one of the most important processes is actually to engage people in their own process. So from our side, we are focused mainly on citizen science, for instance, through a smartphone app in which people can actively involve in the monitoring of invasive alien species around them. As I mentioned, no need to go further away, but within your town, in the urban environment, in fresh waters near to you. When we talk about communication, we are also very focused on social media, because it's an online environment in which you can exchange many ideas, experiences, but also get these feelings that you were mentioning before, and also Eugenio, so through social media and a targeted communication strategy on invasive alien species around us, you can get people needs in terms of language, in terms of location, in terms of materials to get engaged. Also direct contact with the public, of course, through science events, and also, I think very important engagement with groups that in the end can multiply the message. For instance, with teachers, with group of students, writing articles, not only for the scientific community, but for children, and in which children can take part in the science production. So engaging people in their own process of behavioral change and responsible enjoyment in the end can lead to better practices, to good practices in the use of water.
Thank you, Celia. Marina or Maria, would you like to contribute to this question? So on methodologies for changing behaviors.
Well, I think there's no one answer for that. I mean, it depends a lot on your public, the level of awareness they have already or not. And for instance, Aquastory actually is a very important tool, but it has to be used in conjunction with others. I mean, the effectiveness of the movie is much higher if we, for instance, accompany it with a public session on it, with some playing, especially with young people, with some playing around the themes with them before and after. So there are all these methodologies that I think it depends a lot on what the audience, how can we reach them. And I think Celia had already mentioned a lot of different strategies. But one thing that I should point out that it is at least our experience, namely in Portugal, that behavioral change is not something that prevails over time. I mean, you can change your behavior for a while and then return to your previous behavior. I give you a very good example. In Portugal, when we started with a recycling program, separating streams of waste, there was this very, very impacting advertisement in the TV that used a monkey to illustrate people how to separate stuff. And they say, if Gervasio can do it, that was the name of the monkey, why can't you? And everybody, and the rates of recycling really got higher, and people really started recycling. But over time, this slowed down. And so people came back to what they were doing before, or not so intensively doing this type of separation. So my main point here and message is that you don't do it once and that's it. You have to do it over time, and with the same tools, with other tools, new creative tools, learning from what you did before, so that this change of behavior is persistent over time.
Thank you, Maria. Eugenio,
I would say that I agree with very strongly what Maria said, because this applies also to invasive alien species. In fact, we aim at long-term engagement, and we need to sustain the commitment from people trying to develop new tools, to make them interesting and to show results, and to give them feedback, not that just they participate to something and what you have done disappears in the cloud. So they want to be practical. And one thing that is quite peculiar of our activity as in European Species Information Network is the concept of network. So we try to give visibility as much as we can to all projects across Europe, be it invasores in Portugal, or in Germany, or in Italy, or in other countries. Even doesn't matter the size of the project, but the fact that people are involved. And we have for that a nice citizen science project repository. So anyone can visit and try to find the closest project to home to be informed and engaged and participate actively.
Thank you, Eugenio. Is there any question from the audience?
Yes, we have a question from Sandra. She's asking, what about higher levels of incentives from policies to local municipalities to encourage people to consume wiser?
Maybe Maria, you would like to answer this question?
I can. So actually, at least from this movie is actually coming from a public policy approach. I mean, it's framed within the National Strategy for Environmental Education. So all the framework is set there. And there are specific funds to support initiatives from the most various entities. So this comes from top down. I mean, the possibility to engage in this type of activities. Another thing at the municipal level, I should say that at least in Lisbon, there is a Department of Education, but there is also a section on environmental education, and the municipality is working closely with all the public schools in several areas, from biodiversity to water consumption. And in what comes to energy, for instance, we partnered as the energy agency, and of course the municipality is our main member and founding member. We participate with the municipality in developing these programs to create awareness. And so I think there are some efforts being done. I would, of course, like to see much more, if you want to, much more money being thrown out of this type of activities, because at the end of the day, it's not, we have always one shot during the year, and that's it. And so if we could, and it's not easy to develop a stream of tools and a stream of action if we don't have a clearer support or more continued support. But this being said, and Marina knows, because we have tried to do other things, and we are still looking for support. Yeah, I mean, there's more to be done. There's something being done, but there's more to be done, I would say so.
Thank you. We have still a few minutes. I would extend the webinar 5 minutes after the end time to compensate for the time we lost to put the video online. So if there is any other question from the audience, we could take it now. Luisa?
Yes, we have some questions for a while here from Anna. It was in the previous part of the webinar. She was asking, what was the best reaction you received to the movie, or the funniest one?
Maybe for Marina.
Okay, well, the best reaction was from United Nations to give us an award. The other reactions, actually, we don't closely, personally, I don't went to many presentations or public presentations of the film to see people's reactions, because people saw it online mostly. So I guess I don't remember any particular reaction to point out here. I don't know if Maria does.
Well, it's kind of out of the subject, but to be honest, when we did the first viewing, it was in Cinema São Jorge, which is a theater in Lisbon run by the public cultural company, the municipal cultural company. And as you notice, there's this part when Hydro meets Hydra, and there was this kind of laugh reaction over Hydra popping up the Hydro buoyancy. I mean, it's kind of, and it was an adult audience, and we kind of were not expecting a laugh on that, but or maybe we were, but it was kind of a humorous detail that Marina very well introduced in the movie.
Yeah, I was expecting the laugh on that, otherwise it wouldn't be. It was like to have something funny in between. So
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
We have another question from Valentina. How did you choose the examples of misuse or waste of water in the movie?
I guess I thought we thought about what people most commonly do wrong, and in that same question, then they I don't know who asked that. It was Valentina. She asked also if we experienced that the audience did not resonate with those behaviors, and I think they do identify themselves in a lot of those behaviors. Maybe not the watering the garden when it's raining. That's maybe a little overreacted. I don't know. But with the bad behavior, with the everybody's normally when it's showering takes a little bit longer than it should, or with the food waste, a lot of things that everybody does, and we want people to think about those behaviors as wrong things that they're doing constantly and should stop doing.
Yeah, I would just add that these were kind of concrete examples of this very hard technical script that we passed on to Marina, and we wanted to focus on the 5 R's of energy, water use. I'm sorry. So reuse, recycle, reduce, and so on. So the R's that you see in the movie, and we challenged Marina to build the story around these 5 R's, and this is the foundation of the film, I would say.
I think to close it now, before closing, I would like to thank to Marina, Maria, Eugenio, and Celia to agree to participate to this webinar and together with us watch this movie, very nice movie, very important messages delivered, and also for the interesting discussion. There are some points that were mentioned by all of you in terms of methodology, the need to target methodologies that allow for multiplying the message delivered. This could be social media, but could be networking, could be through delivering the messages in schools. And also the need to place the message in context, audience, language, emotions. The last question was also important in that context, for example. But I think I would like to end with a very positive message, which Marina and Maria delivered to us, is that it is possible. Behavioral change is possible, it is feasible, but we need to be constant with the message we delivered. And so I would like to wish you all very good luck with your work, and wish that you will continue delivering these very useful and messages in such a nice way. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for the audience as well.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you too.